prison. The legal problems for Austin Hopp began with the release of this video. It shows him on duty assaulting a 73-year-old woman who lives with dementia. The officer had heard Karen Garner didn't pay for a few dollars in merchandise at a nearby Walmart. CBS 4's Dylan Thomas covering this case since the beginning, live in Loveland right now. And Dylan, we know Garner suffered serious injuries, and you were able to talk to her family about this.
And Jim, we also, for the first time today, heard from former Officer Hopp as he stood before the judge and pleaded for her to see his humanity, admitting that it was ironic because he wasn't able to do the same for Miss Garner in June of 2020. In the end, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison with 3 years of probation, the judge telling the courtroom that there was nothing that she could do to undo what he did to Miss Garner.
It was a big relief, something that I feel like we're finally now able to start closure.
Now a convicted felon, former Loveland police officer Austin Hopp appeared in court Thursday to learn his fate. Before a judge, the family of Karen Garner asked for the court to impose the maximum sentence of 8 years in prison under the plea agreement. Hopp,
these cops need to take a look at this and pay attention.
He told the judge
it can
he was
happen
in a
to them
distressed
too.
mental state in June of 2020 when he threw Garner to the ground, breaking her arm and separating her shoulder. He told the judge his world was falling apart and he was unable to assess the delicacy of the situation because of that, telling the judge it wasn't a matter of if an error of this proportion would happen, but when. The judge said his actions were inexcusable and sentenced him to 5 years in prison.
Finally felt like he was being held accountable.
Karen's family said they supported the sentence.
Today, the DA really stepped up to the plate and felt like they were wanting justice for my mom, and it happened.
DA Gordon McLaughlin said the sentence should send a message to both law enforcement and the community.
Excessive use of force will not be tolerated. That treating members of our community inhumanely will not be tolerated. That lacking to get folks medical attention will not be tolerated. And that's celebrating.
He's not the only cop that acts like this, not the only department either.
While this will not, I should say that the Loveland Police Department sent a statement saying, quote, while this will not change the terrible treatment Miss Garner experienced, we hope that this sentence can bring some measure of justice to her and her family. We should note we are providing an extensive look at what Officer Hopp had to say in the courtroom on our website, which is cbsdenver.com. Reporting live in Larimer County, Dylan Thomas covering Colorado First.